Alright, so I've been quite excited to make this video, and I get a lot of questions about this particular topic. Ever since I got the cutouts installed, I swear the car just feels slower when they're open, which doesn't make much sense because they live literally right behind the mufflers. Here, I'll show you. If this is the exhaust system on the car, which it's not, this is the stock system, but the cutouts live like right here. So they're right before the mufflers. So not before the resonators or the cats or anything like that. They live literally right here. So it's just bypassing the muffler, kind of, because residual airflow does flow through the mufflers. They're not at diverters. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So yeah, they live right before the mufflers. It doesn't really bypass anything restrictive aside from the muffler, but there is residual air that does flow through the muffler, so it's kind of like a dual outlet, quadruple outlet if you count both sides. But it's not a diverter system where one flap closes and the other one opens. It's just one flap, so the air kind of escapes through the muffler and through the cutout. More so the cutouts, and that's why it's so much louder, but I digress. So the car just feels much slower when they're open. The car's just more eager to drive. The acceleration just feels more powerful when they're closed. That's just all on my feeling. I don't know if that's the case. That's just what I feel when I drive. So I've been wanting to test this for a long time. I filmed these runs a few weeks ago, and I'm glad I did because today it's snowing. So I was able to do the runs with my summer rubber on. If you guys remember, we did this same kind of thing a few months ago. I think actually like it doesn't matter. We tested the air flap removal mod. There's been a lot of discussion around that specific topic where people say it doesn't matter, nothing changes, and other people say it's much faster with it out. But I like testing these kinds of things just to kind of debunk whatever people think is happening. So we did that. No change. So I'm curious about the cutouts this time, so we're going to test it much like we did that test, which I'm going to use this right here. This is an OBD2 reader, so that's going to communicate between the car and an app on my phone, which is Dash Command, and within Dash Command there is a performance page or whatever you want to call it where I can set specific mile per hour points, so a start and an end point, and then the app will actually time that for me. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do 20 to 80 runs. We're going to do a few with the cutouts open and a few with the cutouts closed. So here are the runs. The first run, I kind of stick some arrows on the screen just to show you guys a few things while I'm speaking about them, just because there's a lot of information on the screen. You're going to see the screen cap from the phone and the gauges from the GoPro, and then you're going to see my ugly face on the main screen. But I just want to kind of get you guys familiar with the information on the screen, so pay attention to the arrows, and here they are. Alright, here we go. First run. Turn traction off. 20 to 80. I'm going to drop it down to first. Alright, and then I'm just going to gun it. So that was with the cutouts closed. That was a 6.1. It's a little faster than when we did it a couple months ago, and I'm testing that to traction. It's a little bit warmer out, and my tires are like 40 millimeters wider, so that helped. So 6.1, cutouts closed, first run. All right, we're gonna open up the cutouts now. I'm gonna slow down to 20, put it in first. And then just gun it. Whoa. There's a lot of traction issues. That was a 7 seconds. We're going to redo that. So what happened was I gunned it. Traction being off, if you don't know, in these cars, it's not completely off. So the computer sensed that there was traction issues, still cut power, and that's why I bogged down trying to launch. So we're gonna redo it. Hopefully it doesn't keep doing that, so we can get some solid times without any variables. All right, run 2, cutouts open, 20 to 80. I'm gonna put it down to first. Then got it. It's 0.3 seconds slower than the cutouts being closed. So let's close them. Let's do another. With the cutouts closed. 20 to 80, get it right under 20. Got it. .4. Okay. We're going to do another one. Cutouts closed. 20 to 80. Go. .3. So pretty consistent times. They're fluctuating 0.1, 0.2 seconds. It's probably the grades in the road that's affecting it. I don't think I'm having traction issues. I don't feel it. And also this GoPro's in the way, so I can't see if the ESC is flashing. But it doesn't seem like I'm having any traction issues. We're gonna do one more with the cutouts open. All right. First gear, cutouts open, get it right under 20. Got it. .3. Very consistent. I'm just gonna do one more with the cutouts closed. So the car's running pretty much exactly the same with them open or closed, but I just want to do one more with them closed. Cutouts closed, got it. Oh, bogged down. Traction issues, gotta redo that. It's a problem with these traction control systems and the BH platforms. You can't completely turn them off unless you jerry-rig a switch like I did in a previous video. Because turning it off just kind of delays the traction. You can get away with a little bit more, but not much. But I just want to do one more with the cutouts closed, and then we'll put it to rest. If it runs 6.2, 6.3, it's the same thing. It doesn't affect anything, so it's all in my head. All right, here we go. Cutouts closed. Got it. Oh. Cut power again. Don't know how to get around that. I just want to pedal to the floor just to take out all the driver variables that could happen, but seems like traction's being an issue. It's 46 degrees, so it's a little cooler day. I guess we'll try it once more. I could ease into the throttle, but varying from run to run, it's gonna affect it because my foot's not gonna do the same thing every time. Whereas if I just pedal to the floor, it's a one straight motion. It's super consistent that way, and the car will do what it wants. So we're not testing how fast I can do 20 to 80. We're testing if the cutouts open or closed affects anything. So that's why I'm just kind of mashing the pedal and seeing what the car can do if there's any changes between the two. So. But traction is posing an issue. All right, so I had to take a phone call. So if you're wondering why a little bit of time passed and there's more miles on the dash, that's why. But I don't even know where I left off. But I do remember that I wanted to do an additional run with the cutouts closed, so that's what we'll do. All right, so slow down, put it in first. Can't see. Okay, so we're in first. Hover around 20. Then gun it. Very consistent. We'll just do another one with the cutouts open, just for good measure, just to put the nail in the coffin, put it to rest. just so we can be completely sure. But I'm convinced that there's no difference. Like I said before, the 0.1, 0.2 second difference is probably the grades in the road. All right, one more with the cutouts open, just to put it to rest, and that'll be it. All right, first gear. 20, got it. 80. 6.3. 6.3. It's the magic number. So there you go. No effect. Man, car's running super consistent. Regardless of the cutouts open or closed, whatever, but like for it being this old for this many miles, it's running very consistently, so I'm quite happy about that. So let's head back to the garage, we'll have a chat. I'll put all the numbers on the screen and average them out. It's not like it matters because it's pretty much the same thing, but yeah. So there we go. Literally no change, which is crazy because it feels so substantial to me when I'm driving, but that just proves that literally doesn't have any change. But just for reference, we did 4 runs of each open and closed, I think. The first run with the cutouts closed was a 6.1, which was really, that was the fastest time, but I think it was more going downhill. So we'll just take that out. And then the first run for the cutouts being open, I was having traction issues, and that was 7 seconds. So we'll omit that as well. So the 3 runs from the cutouts open was a 6.4, a 6.3, and a 6.3. And then on the opposing spectrum, with them being closed, we ran a 6.4, a 6.3, and a 6.3. So literally identical times. There is no change. So there's really nothing to really compare or contrast with the two being open and closed because the times are the same. But what I can compare them to are the runs that we did with the air flap removal testing, which is funny because a lot of you guys complained that I didn't turn traction off, which I did this time just to, you know, make everyone happy, but it didn't really matter. I just wanted the car to do all the work, just to see if the car acted differently upon different situations and different variables. But comparing these times, which were an average of 6.3 seconds 20 to 80, compared to the runs that we did when it was much colder on I think like 30 or 40 millimeter thinner tires on winter tires on the Blizzaks, was the exact same time. It was just 6.3. So car is super consistent. It does what it wants. Putting into consideration with or without traction control, you guys know as well as me that these traction control systems do whatever they want. It's not completely off even if you turn it off. But there you go. I feel much better just because I was kind of bummed out thinking in the back of my head that the car was slower with the cutouts open because it sounds so much better when they're open. But now I know, and now you know. So leave me any questions or comments or concerns. I'm sure you will down below. And that's all I got for this one. Also, B-Rogue's got some new merch. Go support him. Good dude.